like a dream come true, you know, for all athletes. Pretty emotional, to be honest, to have the opportunity to wear your country flag on your back as the best individual in the entire country in anything. This is what we dream of.
Representing the United States of America, here is Jason.
Fresh off a silver medal finish in the International Team Championship as part of Team USA, Jason Lentz is ready for his next challenge, to compete against the best lumberjacks from around the world, all vying for the STIHL Timbersports World Championship. Days before the competition, Lentz, along with Team USA, traveled to Switzerland to attend a training camp. The purpose was to acclimate after the long flights and to test gear to match the different competition would.
The wood's different to what we cut back home. We cut white pine, and this is like a hybrid poplar. Most comparable to our cottonwood. There's a lot of edging to be done after this training camp to get my axes ready to go for the World Championship.
After training camp, Lentz will head to Stuttgart, Germany. But his journey to this career-defining moment began generations ago in West Virginia. For more, here's the Duluth Durability Rewind.
Diana's in the middle of West Virginia, close to the geographical center in the mountains, about an hour and a half north of Charleston. There's no cell phone service here where I live. Quiet, peaceful, deer in my backyard about every day, turkeys. It's pretty country. Diana's a really small town. I have a church that I live beside, an elementary school, which is our community center now, and a little diner about a mile up the road where you can go to Webster Springs or to Holly River State Park. I run into people that I've known my entire life, kids I went to school with, parents. It's a pretty tight-knit community. Everybody that I see at the diner or around the community, they always ask me what the next competition is, what my next journey is. My mother's side of the family, the Cools, own a farm just about a mile down the road. It's been in the family since 1826, I believe. Years ago, the Webster County Wood Chopping Festival, it was started here in Diana. My great-grandfather on my mother's side actually was an auctioneer and started the competition. I come from the longest living name in the sport in the United States. I'm a fourth-generation competitor. Dating back from the early 30s, my great-grandfather, grandfather, dad, now me.
Jason Lentz's road to this World Championship began with a win in the U.S. Trophy event, followed by a bronze medal in the World Trophy event. Later in the season, he added his second U.S. Championship. Now the stage is set in Porsche Arena in Stuttgart, Germany. Here's how the competition format breaks down.
The STIHL Timbersports individual competition. In the first round, all athletes compete in 3 disciplines: the underhand chop, the stock saw, and the standing block chop. The times achieved will be converted into points upon completion of each discipline. In round 1, a difference of 1 point applies in each discipline, thus the fastest athlete received 12 points, and the slowest only 1 point. Any rule infraction will result in a disqualification, and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. At the end of the first round, the athletes with the lowest scores are eliminated. Only 8 athletes make it to the second round. In this second round, the remaining athletes compete in the single buck and the springboard for increased scores. With 2 points difference between placings, the fastest athlete now receives 16 points and the slowest receives 2. The 2 athletes with the lowest total points are eliminated at the end of round 2. Only the top 6 reach the third round. In the third round, anything is still possible in the hot saw, as an increased score interval of 3 points applies in this final round. The fastest athlete can score up to 18 points at the hot saw, the slowest only 3 points. The athlete who manages to achieve the highest total score across all 3 rounds is the new champion.
We're ready to go with our first discipline of the day, the underhand chop.
Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes cut through a 32-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
Taking a look at how we got our time to beat in the underhand. In the second heat, it would be Koen Martens of Belgium going up against Redmer Knoll of France.
Peeling out of that block. He's going for the drive. One more! And we've got a new leader.
And it would be Martens setting that time at 19.35. Martens' time would hold up until the fourth heat, featuring Danny Martin of Germany and Poland's Mikkel Dubicki.
Wow, look at the time from Mikkel Dubicki. 2 very strong times here. Wow, sub 16 seconds from Dubicki.
And it would be Dubicki taking the win and setting the new time to beat at 15.69.
Jason's up against it here. Should be right though.
Assisting Jason Lentz during the competition is longtime friend and training partner Lawrence O'Toole. O'Toole took the individual world title in 2018 and is a member of Team Australia that edged the USA for the gold medal in this year's team relay. Today he'll aid Lentz in his quest for the championship.
So my relationship with Jason goes way back. You know, before I even met him, I met his dad. So back in the early 80s, he used to come to Australia when I was just a kid. And then as I got older, I traveled to America, and Melbourne introduced me to Jason, and you know, we hit it off from there. So we've been great mates ever since. You know, I'm super happy and excited to help Jason out here in the individual championship. He helped me out when I was competing in 2018, and I always said to him if he made the final and I wasn't in it, that I'd be there and be right by his side. So hopefully we can get the win today and I can give him the payback.
Right, this is heat number 5 of the underhand chop. We are going to see the Australian Jamie Head going up against the American Jason Lentz.
Both of these men did not end up here by accident. No. 2 of the best underhand cutters the world has ever seen.
3, 2, 1, go!
So right away, Jamie Head getting into it with those quick axe drivers, very much like Braden Meyer, and there's no doubt these guys have been training a bit together. Jason Lentz moving over to the other side of his block quickly, though, about 2 strokes ahead of Jamie Head. Let's see how this ends up as they go through this second side with a lot of support from the audience here. There's a big chip that needed to come off of Jamie's block there that was sort of getting in the way, but it
20
went away.
seconds in.
Oh, and Jason Lentz with a 21.98. Jamie Head getting close to it with a 26.39 finish.
Lentz's time of 21.55 is good enough for the win, but short of the 16-second top time. He currently sits in 5th in points with 1 heat remaining. In the final heat, Sweden's Emil Hansen would take on New Zealand's Jack Jordan.
And there it is, 20.32, a personal best here for Jack Jordan. Very good job.
Jordan would take the heat, posting a time just over 20 seconds, putting him in 3rd in overall points. Poland's Dubicki finishes 1st, followed by Belgium's Koen Martens. Jason Lentz of the United States finishes in 6th.
Cut that underhand pretty average at best. Bit nerve-wracking. On to the next event. Stock saw. Bit stronger event for me.
See, Jack only got 3rd in that so far. So he's only a couple points off you. And you beat Emil, so you're still in 5th. You know what I'm saying? It's only Dubicki and the Belgium guy, and I don't really calculate them as being a massive threat, really.
Well, Jason readies himself for the second discipline of this competition, the stock saw.
He's looking very good here, 11.13 for him and 12.28.
To tell us more about the tool used in this event, here's the Ace Hardware Tools of the Trade.
The STIHL MS661CM stock saw is used in STIHL Timbersports as the ultimate test of operator skill. Designed for the toughest jobs in forestry, it produces approximately 7.3 horsepower, has a displacement of 91.1 cc, and weighs 7.4 kilograms. To ensure evenly and fairly matched saws, professional steel technicians prepare and test the saws before each competition.
3, 2, 1,
Taking a look at how we got our time to beat. In the first heat of the stock saw, Canada's Ben Cumberland would face off against Australia's Jamie Head.
And Cumberland with a beautiful transition on the upcut. Oh, but Jamie Head's a little bit faster on the upcut.
And it would be Head taking the heat, setting the time to beat at 11.15. And that time would hold up through the second heat. In Heat 3 of the stock saw, Martin Russell of the Czech Republic would take on Switzerland's Cyril Pabst.
Both get into the wood quite quickly. Nice upcut there from Cyril Pabst as he's looking very good here. 11.13 for him and 12.28 for Martin Russell.
And it would be Pabst taking the heat and setting the new time to beat at just over 11 seconds.
And here we go with Heat 4 of the stock saw. This is Michal Dubitsky going up against the American Jason Lentz, both with sub-11 second personal bests here. We could see some fireworks.
STIHL, ready! Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, Jason was in there quick.
Quick pickup from Lentz, yeah.
Nice transition, bit of a thicker second cookie here for Jason Lentz, but Dubicki, oh, I thought Dubicki was going to get it, but it was Jason Lentz just a hair faster than Michal Dubitsky.
Jason Lentz would win the heat, but not best the time of Switzerland's Cyril Pabst. Pabst's time of 11.06 would hold as the top overall time in the stock saw over the final two heats. Australia's Jamie Head would take second, followed by Germany's Danny Martin. Jason Lentz would finish fifth. Taking a look at our overall points after two disciplines, Koen Martin sits atop the leaderboard, followed by Danny Martin. Michal Dubicki, Jamie Head, and Jason Lentz of the U.S. sits in fifth. Jason needs to pick up top points in the next discipline to keep himself in contention.
Yeah, it went pretty smooth. I wanted to make a shortcut. That's always a hard one to get points out of. Yeah, I got middle of the pack, just like the underhand.
Ready now for our final discipline of round one. Only the top 8 will advance to the next round. To tell us more about this next discipline, here's the discipline review.
Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 30 centimeters has to be cut through both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
I just cut for Team USA yesterday, cut 5 blocks in a row. Yep, one of my favorites. I'm in the last heat, so I get to watch everybody cut, see what time I had to put down to win it.
Taking a look at how we got our time to beat in the standing block. In Heat 2, Germany's Danny Martin would take on Belgium's Koen Martens.
Danny Martin moving over to the other side of his block, about 3 strokes behind Koen Martens. And Danny Martin's got a ton of power. Koen Martin's got a lot of accuracy, though. I might have misspoke. And Danny Martin's got a personal best, 29.7. That power helped him out.
And it would be Danny Martin taking the heat and setting the time to beat with a personal best, 20.70. Martin's time would hold up through Heat 3.
And he's done it in 22.41.
In Heat 4, Redmer Knoll of the Netherlands would take on Jack Jordan from New Zealand.
Jack Jordan moved over to the other side of his block, now 3 strokes ahead of Redmer Knoll. Redmer now moving on to the second side of his block. Oh my goodness, that's a personal best. Fantastic time by Jack Jordan.
And it would be Jordan taking the heat and setting the new time to beat at 17.73. Jordan's time would stand through Heat 5. Now Jason Lentz knows what he has to do to take top points in the standing block. Best the time of Jordan.
Do not adjust your sets. Jason Lentz is that big. This is heat number 6 of the standing block chop. This is the Australian Jim Head going up against the American Jason Lentz. Last bit of oil being added to the axe here from Jamie Head. The time that he would need to hit to take the lead in the competition would be 17.73, so look out for that one. Jason Lentz also still in touching distance of the leaders.
Ready! Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
It was a little bit of a bouncy axe for Jason Lentz there. I don't know if you saw that as well, Sterling, but it almost looked like his first drivers bounced out.
I didn't just see it, I felt it.
Yeah.
But I could feel the power of this man. 250 pounds, a USDA-approved beast, going for the drive!
Oh,
Jason Lentz!
15.51, fastest time of the day. Jason Lentz takes over the top spot.
Jason Lentz did what he set out to do, take the top time in the standing block. With that win, Lentz will move to the top of the leaderboard in overall points. Only the top 8 in points will advance to round 2. Let's take a look at our John Deere driver's seat leaderboard. The top 8 now set their sights on round 2. Huberé of France, Cumberland of Canada, Roussel of the Czech Republic, and Knoll of the Netherlands will not be moving on.
4th heat for both. Stand B.
Make it count.
Time to make a move. Don't let it slip. Don't let the opportunity. Stay switched on. No friends out there. Don't go talking to anyone.
Now we move into round 2 of our competition, where these athletes will battle it out in one sawing and one chopping discipline. First up, the always daunting single buck. For more on the single buck, here's the Duluth Trading Discipline Review.
Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc of a 46-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
Taking a look at how we got the time to beat in the single buck. In the first heat, Switzerland's Cyril Pabst would take on Sweden's Emil Hansson, and it would be Hansson taking the victory and setting the time to beat at 11.54. In Heat 2, Belgium's Koen Martens would take on New Zealand's Jack Jordan, and it would be Jordan taking the heat, but his 12.95 falls short of Hansson's 11.54. In the third heat, Mikkel Dubicki takes on Jamie Head, and it would be Head taking the heat, setting the new time to beat at 11.51.
Look at Jamie Head go.
Final heat of the single buck, Germany's Danny Martin stepping in to face the United States' Jason Lentz.
The world record for the single buck stands at 10.47. Jamie Head currently the fastest today here in Stuttgart, 11.51. Danny Martin would have to get exactly that time to take the overall lead.
Right, and as we watch these two final cutters go, you know, Danny Martin is an absolute technician on this, but if anybody's got a chance of taking down that world record, keep your eyes on Jason Lentz as well.
I mean, Jason Lentz's legs go all the way to the floor, so, I mean, he can step back well and truly far away from that block and use the entire length of that saw.
Absolutely, muscles hanging off his earlobes.
Ready! Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good start by both these guys. Look at the intensity on Danny Martin there as he's pushing through a little bit of rocking from Jason Lentz. Danny Martin, Jason Lentz, pretty even cut down to the bottom. Oh my God! Look at how close that time was. 2:23 to 2:28. Personal best for both of those guys, and they are over the moon. Over the moon. Fantastic run by Danny Martin and Jason Lentz. Outstanding.
Danny Martin is having the day of days at his home stadium here. Wowee, then we're going to have to wait and see what those times are resolved down to. But as it stands, Danny Martin, that's the third best time today in the single buck, 12:23. 7 personal bests out of 8 here. This is cracking timber sports.
Absolutely, Danny Martin asked for the applause from the home crowd.
He got it, didn't he?
He's been feeding off that energy. He's looking to get some points and get through to his favorite event, the hot saw.
Okay, both guys, good.
Right, so very interestingly, both times were rounded down a little bit. In fact, Lentz is so much that he ended up with a slightly faster time than Danny Martin. Jason Lentz's time confirmed at 12:08. Danny Martin will take a 12:11. So we've got 7 personal bests out of 8. Let's check out the overall rankings. So confirmation that in the single buck, Jamie Head had the fastest time of 11:51, good enough for 16 points. Hansson, Lentz and Martin also with personal bests and sub 13-second times. That means that the overall standings after 4 disciplines are Jamie Head currently with 43 points leading the table, closely followed by Jason Lentz from America with 39 points, Danny Martin, the local boy, with 37 points, and Jack Jordan still in touching distance with 32.
Just you, Danny, Jamie, and you'll be fighting it out for the 1, 2, 3, but you'll pull a bit on Danny in the springboard, I reckon. It's time to dig deep though. You gotta cut a good springboard. You gotta stay within, beat Jamie or stay within 1. You can't let him drag out anymore.
With sights set on making a move up the leaderboard, Jason Lentz and the field are ready for the 5th discipline of the day, the springboard.
Springboard. Springboard simulates the traditional way of felling trees, climbing up over thick roots. First, notches known as pockets are chopped into the log. 2 springboards are then anchored into these pockets. The athlete then climbs up to chop through a 27-centimeter thick block of wood in the fastest time possible.
In the first heat of the springboard, Cyril Pabst takes on Sweden's Emil Hansson.
For Emil Hansson, who should get through in under a minute here, he's almost there. He's got to cut through clean, 49.51.
And it would be Hansson taking the heat, setting the time to beat with a 49.72. In Heat 2, Belgium's Koen Martens would best New Zealand's Jack Jordan, but would fall short of Hansson's top time. Heat 3 featuring Michael Dubicki and current overall points leader, Australia's Jamie Head, and it would be Head taking the heat. In the final heat of the springboard, Jason Lentz will take on Germany's Danny Martin.
Athletes, ready! Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, here we go. The audience, we know who they're going to be rooting for, but there are plenty of fans from other countries. And that was a very quick board by Jason Lentz as he is struggling to get that axe out. All the power in the world, and doesn't help if he can't get the axe back out of position. Now both boys are on their first boards and getting their pockets set for the second boards. Jason Lentz placing his second board, looks like a good angle. He'll get that tooth on the shoe in place, and again struggling to get that axe out of the block. Danny Martin set his axe up top, putting his second board in. Let's see how well he does to get up here as we just passed the 34-second mark. Jason Lentz working hard with a pretty sticky block there. He's got all the power he needs to get through there. And you can hear the audience in the background supporting Danny Martin, who's doing a great job on top of his block. A little bit of a slip of the axe there. Jason Lentz moving to the backside, and he's done it in 52-42. Danny Martin squeezing in on the minute mark now here. He's deep on the first side. He'll switch over to the backside now. He's not going to get his personal best time, but he will have a time locked in here. Is it going to be good enough to get him into the hot saw? Let's see. He drops it in 104, 107.86, so just as well off his personal best time. And at the moment, Jamie Head holding on to the top spot in the overall. Jason Lentz has moved up into second, Emil Hansson in third, and Danny Martin's in fourth right there, so he's safe.
Jason Lentz's springboard performance lands him in third place behind Australia's Jamie Head and Sweden's Emil Hansson. Taking a look at our overall points heading into the final round of the day, only the top 6 will move on to round number 3, where the points are tripled. Jason Lentz sits within striking distance of the leader, Jamie Head, and Emil Hansson sits in third, followed by Danny Martin in fourth. We're ready for our final event of the day, and it all comes down to this final discipline, the hot saw.
Hot saw. For the hot saw, power saws are called into action, and the athletes have a space of 15 centimeters to cut 3 complete discs off a 46-centimeter thick wooden block. Jumping the start or cutting over the line will result in a disqualification.
As the deck crew resets the stage for the final event of the day, let's take a quick look at the Ace Hardware reset. In the first discipline of round 1, Michael Dubicki of Poland would take the underhand with a time of 15.69.
Wow, look at the time for Michael Dubicki.
In the stock saw, Cyril Pabst would lay down an 11.06 to win the stock saw. Jason Lentz of the U.S. would close out round 1 by besting the field in the standing block by 2.5 seconds with a time of 15.28.
Going for the drive! Oh, Jason Lentz!
Australia's Jamie Head would kick off round 2 by taking the single buck with a time of 11.51.
But look at Jamie Head go!
And in the springboard, Emil Hansson would best the field and win the final discipline in round 2.
So we are ready for the last discipline of the day. That is the hot saw. We are going to see 6 athletes go up, one after the other, starting with Dubitsky, then Martens, then it'll be Martin, then it'll be Hansson. Heat 5 will be Lentz, and Head will go last.
Jamie Head, being the current points leader, now sits in the hot seat, awaiting the results of the other 5 competitors.
3, 2,
Mikhail Dubicki, who's mathematically out of contention for the gold, will lay down a time for the field to chase. Dubicki would lay down a personal best time of 6.40, placing him currently in 2nd place. Up next would be Koen Martens of Belgium. Martens, who's also out of the gold medal contention, looks to lay down a podium-winning time.
Go!
With that cut, he will take over the 2nd place spot.
And he's again celebrating with the audience here in Stuttgart. Fantastic.
Up next will be Danny Martin of Germany. He's looking to best the time of 6.42, which would put him in the hot seat.
Ready! Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, this is looking good already. Nice start, bit of slow up cut. And he's got himself a 5.86. That's enough for the top spot.
Danny Martin would take over the hot seat with only 3 competitors remaining. In the next heat, Emil Janssen takes to the stage to try and best the time of Danny Martin, a 5.66.
Small adjustment so you could see that all those moves.
Stand to your timber.
Checking everything. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, go!
You weren't kidding about the way that beast works. And look at that time, 5.89 for Emil Hansen. 3 on the deck, that gives him 60 points. That means Emil Hansen will take over the hot seat from Danny Martin.
And with that cut, Hansen will take over the hot seat and guarantee himself a podium finish. Jason Lentz now steps to the stage for his cut. Lentz, who came into the hot saw in 2nd place, just 6 points behind Jamie Head.
Jason Lentz, if he gets 2nd or even 3rd place, he'll move ahead of Emil Hansen here if he gets the 2nd or 3rd fastest time. So he has really very little pressure, but under the circumstances, he's going to want to try and put the fastest time as he possibly can on the board so that he can prevent Jamie Head from doing any damage to his points. Let's see how well he does here.
3, 2, 1, go!
Bit of a chunky start for Jason Lentz, but he's got good cuts and 3 on the deck. 5.53. That is very, very fast. Jason Lentz, with the fastest time so far, unofficially moves him to the top of the leaderboard.
Did I just see a yellow flag come out of the pocket?
Oh, we did. Let's see what we have going on here. This could bode very well for Emil Hansen. They're checking to see if there's a cut line by the looks of it.
The flag has been thrown, the looks have been had. There's a little discussion here between Jason Lentz and the referee, Dr. Kutzenberger. We're going to get the result. This could be enormously important. Emil Hansen waiting on the hot seat for the decision.
Okay, we have a DQ at the line.
Oh, that is unfortunate for Jason Lentz.
Lentz would file a formal protest for being distracted during the starting cadence, but the decision would not go his way. The DQ would stand.
So this is the 6th and final heat of the hot saw. This is the Australian Jamie Head, Danny Martin and Emil Hansen. Guaranteed silver and bronze at least. It all depends on what Head comes up with here.
All Jamie really needs to do is put 3 on the deck, but sometimes that can be a lot more daunting than one would think.
Ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Whoa, he ran into the block on his way up. I hope that doesn't affect it at all, but he's got 1, 2, and 3 cookies on the deck with an 8.57 time.
And with that cut, Jamie Head will take home the gold for Australia. And this will be Jamie's first individual world championship. Emil Hansen takes the silver, and Danny Martin will be taking home the bronze medal. Jason Lentz would have a disappointing 4th place finish. Join us next in Rotterdam, Netherlands, as some of the best athletes from around the world will be in competition to be the individual women's world champion in the International Women's Cup.